Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. Couple teams on the left coast cooking with gas. Mariners, Padres. Yanks are the best ever. Braves? 5-game L's? Let's talk ball. Let's yuck ball.
Jackson Merrill.
Oh. I bounced it.
Yeah.
I
still hit it out.
I choked it a little bit. Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented to you by SeatGeek, code Talkin10. More pitching analysis from me, Pedro, and Jeremiah Estrada later. Myself, BBD, Trevor Plouffe de Goof, out on the left coast. He's back home, a little pep in his step, got his tooth back.
Dude, I've been smiling.
You've been smiling.
I feel like myself again for, I don't know, almost a year.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was 10 months was the official count. I've been afraid to smile completely because I had a missing tooth right here. And I just thought I didn't look great. I was not confident.
Yeah.
You guys are in trouble now.
Yeah.
I'm going to be flashing these pearly whites everywhere.
Everyone's been talking about my hair. Now we're on to your teeth.
Yeah, you do. Like, have you like shaped it, kept it, or is this still going?
This is still like running. Like I'm starting to play. There's a couple things in play. You know, it's how
you're getting there, like a fine line. You know, there's a fine line
from the shower to when I mess it up. Like there's a formula that has to take place. But I mean, you know, Jeff Passan talking about it. The comment section has been hot. Summer's here. We're hot in the streets. I'm excited to talk ball with you, Trev. I went on a little rant with you and Beebs pre-show. Watched some MLB tonight last night. There was some good parts to it. There was some not. I'm sure a lot of people that tune into this probably love baseball so much that they tune into both. And I don't know if we've got you on our hook, line, and sinker. We love you. And thank you so much. And man, I'm excited to get into it because couple teams have come to life because it's Saturday. We're talking about the National League first. And yeah, man, brother Jeff filled in on the midweek, and hearing that he's in like the same boat as us on a lot of things. Like there's hearing brother Jeff say, like, if you got a young, good pitcher who's getting you bullets, like, kind of let it ride. For me, that was a big, like, damn, like, we're so far into pitching injuries that we're just like, if you've got something going, just run it. Like the opposite of what the Guardians last year. And maybe we're all dumb because the Guardians keep looking at where they are in the standings, and I'm like, damn, they deserve more love. They're better than the Dodgers right now. I'm running hot.
You're going hot.
And you know another reason why I'm running hot, Trev?
Nope, not yet.
I get cornered by BBD this morning, Sam, who basically runs our company, Jeremy, who runs our sales, not really, but nice, great guy. And they go, Jake, we got a big one on Talking Baseball today. I said, okay, what do we got? Luke Combs album release. Yeah, people, we're there. We are there. Fathers and Sons.
Holy shnikey.
There's a baseball track on the album, Trev. We had it cranking around the office today. We're all baseball people. The South loves ball. Let's get a team in Alabama.
No, dude, Alabama, that's our secret weapon. Gunnar Henderson.
Yeah, that's true.
Josh Willingham.
Go check out the album. On my end, Luke Combs, favorite live performance of the year.
Wow.
Him and Tracy Chapman, Grammys, Fast Car.
Oh, that was unreal.
Holy smokes. Cranked that again this morning. So go check out the new Luke Combs album. He's also teamed up with MLB and T-Mobile to give you and your family a chance to win the ultimate doubleheader VIP weekend. Winners get to fly to NYC, see the Yanks on July 19th, and then head to MetLife to meet Luke Combs and watch him in concert. Bing! What? I should have not read this and just applied. I shouldn't have not read this and just applied myself. Click the link in the description. Go listen to Fathers and Sons wherever you get your music and get a chance to win a really cool thing. Trev, you raise your hand.
Do you know why I like Luke Combs?
Okay, go on.
And I'm not against these types of people. There are performers in the music industry. There are people who are performers, and a lot of them are very good performers, and I enjoy their music. Luke Combs is a talent.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he can sing.
I'll add to this. I like this is some
Well, he's
dumb
both.
Jake
I'm
stuff.
sorry.
Yes.
Cut me off, Jake. Whatever. He's both.
I love when singers, they do like the singing movements, like their face is like way too into it. You got a fast car. That and like violinists when they're like getting lost in the sauce. That's like my favorite thing in the world.
Okay.
Like when they're drunk off music, that's every day for me. So I don't know if you're not checking.
Are we gonna
out
hang
this
out with Luke
album,
Combs?
Might as well, right?
I would. I play catch with you if you want, Luke.
Ooh, okay. I'll sing Fast Car with you, and we'll see which version was better. Let's do a little. Should we do some National League Baseball, Trev?
Well, it's Friday.
Yes. Yes. Oh, we're already into it. And so were the Milwaukee Brewers. They faced the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays, this is a real stretch. Some tough teams. And the Brewers took 2 out of 3. It started with Colin Rea, who dropped 7 innings on them. I think that was his longest outing of the year. Willy Adames with the big home run. How good has he been this year? A guy that I thought would be the Dodgers shortstop. He's just holding it down in the Central. And on a better team? No. Brewers won the last game, too, with a big inning. 5 runs in the 6th, I believe. Blue Jays took the middle game behind Yusei Kikuchi. And here's your offense from Spencer Horwitz and Danny Jansen. That's part of the Toronto story this year. Good team beats mad team. Sorry. Does a good team beat a bad team as the Padres sweep the Oakland Athletics? The Padres are starting to climb the ladder a little bit. It's also Oakland, and it also took 2 walk-offs from my guy, Higgy, and your guy, Jackson Merrill. 2 electric calls. Anytime Don Orsillo gets to call a walk-off, we like that. And anytime Michael King is striking out 12 guys in 5 innings. Yo. Padres have entered the chat, and I think that's a good thing for baseball. Speaking of an interesting thing for baseball, how'd you like to play, Mrs. Lunhow? Lunau? Giants take 2 out of 3 from the Astros. Man, this is what I'm talking about. The Astros, they got an easy schedule coming up. These are the teams you got to start beating. And they lost 2 out of 3 to the Giants. And the first one was in Astros fashion this year. 3 runs and a walk-off in the 10th, man. They won that second game. Ronel Blanco back standing on his business. But so is Austin Slater and Jorge Soler in that last game that the Giants take 2 out of 3 from the Astros. Snakes take 2 out of 3 from the Angels. Okay. Would have been nice to get the broomsticks out, but baby steps. Monty gets a start he can build on. Brandon Pfaadt gets a good start. Grichuk almost cycles Corbin Carroll with the big day at the office. And Christian Walker, Trev. Oh, God. He's on pace for like 35 and another Gold Glove. Okay. Snakes. Fire it up. Cardinals take 2 out of 3. And wait for Trevor Plouffe's standings, but I think they're the last wildcard team. A bit of a pitcher's duel to kick it off. Skeens versus Michaelis. Pirates get the 2-1 dub. Skeens gets the standing O, which, I don't know, something there to be discussed. Yeah, it's nice, but it's and he got out-pitched. Cardinals take the final 2 games. Brendan Donovan kind of been balling out for them. I think he's got a little 8-game hit streak going on. Goldie with the yacker. Sonny Gray with a good start. Texas Rangers take 2 out of 3 from the Dodgers. All right. Dodgers rolled them in that first game. All the names you know. Will Smith, Shohei, Freddie, Paxton. But then the Rangers, 3-2, 3-1. How good has Michael Lorenzen been this year? and put him on the signed late, didn't get spring training list because he's just been balling out. So he's showing those. He
stays ready.
He's showing those pictures.
In the gym.
Yeah, he's showing those pictures, Trev. You just got to throw it hard and get out. Corey Seager homering against his old team. Wyatt Langford, a couple bloops and a couple bleeps. Will that get him going? The Battle of Ohio? There's 3 teams, though. Guardians and Reds, they split 2. Stephen Kwan's numbers are in a crazy spot right now, and Nick Lodolo's been playing great. And then the Mets and the Marlins, they teed it up. Mets take the final 2 games. They're still in wild card contention, kind of, but that's the whole National League. It's highlighted at the end. JD Martinez with that golf swing inside out to right center. That's why he signed there, remember? Sorry, Giants. That's what happened in the National League. Woo!
There's nobody like you.
Bring him out.
Hey, who's the 3rd team in Cincinnati or in Ohio?
Isn't it Cleveland, Cincy? Is there another one, or is that football?
I was trying to think. I was like, dang, I played in Major League Baseball. People forget that.
Maybe that's
and I
just
couldn't
football.
Get the 3rd one.
The Bengals, the Browns, and is there not 3? I don't know. You give the standings. I'm gonna.
Okay, that was a tough one for you right there. That's a really tough one for me.
Columbus has a hockey team, I think.
Oh, a AAA team in Columbus. I've had some nights out there.
Sure.
Obviously, great job by you, Snake. It's Friday, so we're going to start in the West. That's what we do. The Dodgers still leading the division, 42-28. The Padres over 500.
Wow.
37-35. They're 6 games back. The Giants only a game and a half back of them. They're 34-35. Arizona 33-36. So that's nice little jumbo pie. Out there in the NL West. And then Colorado, who I just saw in person. You know what? They got some players. Ezekiel Tovar's a guy.
Right?
Next Willy Adames, I called it. 24-44, they're 17 games back. Because it's Friday, now we go to the East. And Philadelphia is still atop of that division, 46-22. The Braves 9 games back, man. And AA came out and spoke a little bit. 36-30 for the Braves. Washington. Man, they're playing better ball than a lot of people gave them credit for at the beginning of the season. 32-36. The Mets 30-37, and then the Marlins 23-45. In the Central, the fucking Brewers, man. Excuse my language, but I love watching them play baseball. They're 40-28. The Cardinals 33-34. The Reds 33-35. The Cubs 33-36. And the Pirates 32-36. So that's a jumbo pie. Do I need to go? Right now, St. Louis, they have the last wild card spot. Everybody's in contention still except for the Rockies. And that's the standings in the National League.
I'll say the Marlins might be out of it too.
They're not even listed.
Ooh.
Baseball Reference has it, on their homepage at the bottom, and I forgot that they end up doing that. They start cutting teams off.
That's tough.
I think after you're 10 games out, they cut you off. 10 or more.
That's the football, end of the football season, the who's alive in the playoffs, and they've got like the 1-6-9 team, but no one else is in there. It's called the Battle of Ohio because there's only 2 teams in Ohio.
Obviously.
I added a big Ohio city. So I'll wear that one. I know Columbus is a great
I was thinking this entire
town.
time.
We're trying to get you some good teams, Ohio, some big cities, Ohio.
Guardians ahead 71-54 all time in the Ohio Cup, so you could call it that too. Somewhere Chris Rose's wiener flinched. Trev, in the National League, it's been a big Chris Rose week for me. You know what it was? I was too nice to him. His son had his graduation, and I knew Chris Rose would be hyped if I was like, congrats, Chris Rose, and he was. So then me and Passon debagged him.
Okay.
In your National League, Trev, let's do a quick Padres thing because I'm interested. I mean, 2 walk-offs are always exciting. It is Oakland, and you'd hear the tone change in my voice. But Higgy, who had been really tough for them, kind of a throw-in in that Juan Soto trade. He's kicked into gear a little bit, which that's what he used to do on the Yanks as well. And then Jackson Merrill, the kid, gets the walk-off. But the Padres, I guess the biggest thing for me, Trev, in this National League that has a disaster kind of going on. Like the fact that the Giants or the Cardinals would be in the playoffs as of today is crazy. That the Padres are the first team to like make us think they could escape that crew, and they have the talent to escape that crew. It's why we've been Padres obsessed for the past couple years.
Yeah, it's interesting because you're right. It's a National League problem. There hasn't been a lot of teams to separate themselves, and I don't know if that is a there's Higgy. I don't know if that's a extra wild card thing. Are we really starting to see these teams aim for that 88, 87 win season? And I think that might be part of it. A lot of it is, it's not early anymore. I keep thinking, hey, it's early. Like some of these teams are going to go, but this is kind of who they are. I think the Padres, if you're talking about, I think Atlanta exits that discussion. I think if you're talking Padres, Giants, Cardinals, Pirates, Reds, I think the Padres do have the most talent out of that group. And they spent some money, brought some big name players in. They've made some trades, obviously. I do like them the best out of that group. They got some good starting pitching performances in this series. Then, Jackson Merrill is crazy. He's providing a ton of defense in center field. He's like, I just learned it, but here I am. A couple big homers there. His numbers offensively aren't great. But he's a rookie putting together by WAR, a pretty good season. So they got him coming along, and then you got Tatis starting to really get it going. He's starting to look like the Tatis of old, and we got a few guys. You talked about Estrada, like back in the bullpen. We're figuring things out there. Like this is a team I think they're going to be in the playoffs, and they could be by when that time comes around, like a pretty scary team to face if everyone kind of gets going at the same time. So, we've been waiting for the Padres to go. They've started to separate themselves a little bit, in my opinion, of that big jumble pie I called it in that National League.
Yeah, you keep saying that. It's
that's the third time.
It's close to off-putting, but that's not for me.
I don't really eat pies.
Yeah.
So whatever. I don't even know why I'm saying. It's not like something I enjoy all the time. I like a chicken pot pie.
I was gonna say, Mom used to throw that in the mix, and that's those leftovers play. But
yeah.
That's if Jess came home and I was cranking out a chicken pot pie, she'd be worried about me. She'd be like, "What happened today?"
You think so?
Yes.
My dad used to eat those frozen ones all the time.
Yeah.
Those are horrible for you.
Yeah, those are bad for you, and it was a classic mix of like boiling hot, or you bite into a frozen piece of chicken and you're like, I need to be better.
Oh.
I need to be better. The other thing the Padres have going, I guess it's the fan formula. It's okay, do they have stars? Have they made moves to bring in better players, whether the free agent frenzy they used to go on or even trading for Cease before the season? They've called up young guys, like they gave Jackson Merrill the call early. And I guess it's a front office that we believe will make a move. Like, when we're looking at what are the Pirates going to do this year? What are the Cardinals going to do this year? I bet you the Padres are going to do something. And it's not going to sell, because if you have this core that you're paying a ton of money to, you're going to get in the mix. So I think that's the other reason that of all of those teams, the Padres might be leaving those teams and entering kind of the Braves territory.
Yeah, they're already talking about going and getting out a Garrett, Crochet. We have a couple injuries to Musgrove and Darvish. They understand the importance of depth in the rotation. So, yes, do I expect them to be buyers at the deadline? Of course, that's just what they do. They bring in a rise. I like the balance in the offense as far as power and contact. I always say, you know what I always say, Jake.
I know what you always say.
That you need to have years like they're getting from Profar And guys like Merrill, and then you have your stars and they do their thing, and that's when you perform, and that's when you have a good season. And they're getting that. And Bogarts is out right now, but like I said, Tatis is kind of going. So like they're firmly in the mix here. And in fact, I think they're pulling away from those other teams.
I mean, they've got a back end of the bullpen right now with Suarez and Estrada. They've got 3 guys in the rotation, Cease, King, and Waldron, who have really been balling out.
Waldron's getting the Patrick Mahomes treatment. Like he's getting noticed. Like everything is kind of coming up Padres right now.
White knuckleballs need to be a part of the game more.
No, stop. Okay.
Yes.
Hard
knucklers. Not the lobby knucklers. Sure. But like R.A. Dickey's the thing.
Knuckleballs too much lately.
R.A. Dickey's the thing was like a dominant pitch for 2 years, and then everyone just moved on. Like if you can throw a good one and disguise it,
I think that's the problem.
Right.
Is a knuckleball grip's very difficult. The same way a splitter grip is difficult. Like if I see a guy that, has a splitter, first of all, you have to start with a splitter grip and then change your glove. Like I'm picking that guy's pitches probably 60% of the time if they have a split grip. Like you can see the difference. So I think that has something to do with it. But I also spent some time with, I believe his name is Josh Kolk. He's like Twins game planning guru.
Okay.
He's just there all the time. Nice guy. I have a lot of interesting baseball discussions. I don't think he likes me. I think he just sees me as like an idiot.
Wasted
He's like,
talent.
One of these very smart guys. Yeah. He was the guy that like introduced that whole like Rays, like got to have a knuckleballer at every single level. And his thing was, controlled environment to Trop, next day, all these different things, whatever. And then I just got force fed a knuckleball academy that they do it like Bimal Athletics out here in California. So I'm kind of getting knuckleballed out. Not to take away from Waldron. He's not a knuckleball pitcher, Jake.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. I want more pitchers that happen to throw a knuckle. Remember George Kirby on the last day threw a gross knuckleball just for shits? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like in a tight spot that might work.
How did we get here?
I don't know. Go look at the Padres roster and pitching staff on paper, and that checks out. That would be fun to see them kind of get the good.
I feel like this is such
season.
your team, like Higashioka, Donnie Barrels, Luis Rise,
Freight Train David Peralta locking down the DH spot right now.
Ha-Seong Kim, like this is a fun team to watch.
Some of the complaints were
Tyler Wade, you're on the team.
I know, my guy. His brother Kyle has been going to some of the games. Check out his real estate stuff. We've DM'd. I wish him a happy birthday, and I say happy birthday, bro. That's just me. Okay. That's just me. Remind me when we get to Jarren Duran. I have maybe an interesting baseball question for you.
Okay. I think we just kind of, there's not huge topics in the National League, so I think kind of let's run through the series real quick, get to the American League. It's Friday.
Cook.
You want me to cook?
Cook. What's on your mind? What's on your chest?
I like the Brewjays. That's
Whoa.
Name of the series. Boom.
They go under
$1 million. Here you go. Like what?
Thank you. Kind of expected result right here, in my opinion. Brewers win 2. The funny thing is, I kept referencing Brewjays and Bluers. We're doing it. The Brewers have been so fantastic with runners in scoring position to start the year. Them and the Guardians were like the top 2 teams for a long time, hitting well over 300. In the first 2 games here, even though the Brewers win the first game because of a couple homers, they were 0 for 24 with runners in scoring position. So, some of that stuff's going to come down for them. And if you're still able to win games without getting a hit with a runner in scoring position, good on you. Obviously, the Blue Jays offense did nothing in the first game. And then, Willy Adames, I think, is a topic here. Ken Rosenthal came out with an article saying that there is a chance that he still could go somewhere. I think that's absolutely like not going to happen because of what happened with Josh Hader 2 years ago when they traded him. The whole clubhouse kind of was like not revolted, but was disgusted with that idea. And Willy Adames is much more of a clubhouse leader and vibe than Hader was. So I don't think that's going to happen, but he has a couple good games here. The Brew Crew just gets it done, man. Like that's the bottom line is they're a good baseball team. I think they are going to have to make a move for a pitcher at some point. But they have a pretty good farm system. Like I hope they don't coddle and they do go make that move because they're finding something here. Like now, are they like the best team on paper? Like, are they better than the Phillies and the Braves? Probably not. Definitely not the Dodgers. But like, could they beat them in the playoffs? Yeah. Like,
I mean,
of course.
You can argue that they were better than the Diamondbacks going into last year's postseason, but again, that kind of turns into the problem. Maybe the problem with baseball right now, with all these 500 teams saying that exact same thing. They are not around 500. They've dominated their division this year, but yeah, I send myself in. You can't trade Adames. They do that,
no.
and I'll puke on camera. Write that down. You can't do that.
Please mark that.
You can't do that. But dude, they're tapping it. Here's Tobias Myers.
I hope they trade him so bad. Right now.
A little gallon. Get the gallon of milk. Tobias Myers. He's dominated his past 2 starts. Rhea, his longest outing since 2016. So I don't know. The difference with the Brewers is they hit this year. Even our guy Terang is the number 2 in swipes behind Elly De La Cruz while playing world-class defense. Like
that's a ball player. Terang's a ball player.
So I don't know. We're drinking the Brewjays.
The Brewjays.
And yeah,
I like that.
Toronto. This feels like what Milwaukee's done all year. This felt like what Toronto's done all year. I guess the same thing goes for the Astros. I don't know what you have to add to it, but like, and I don't know. I was trying to make a joke. We got the Lunau tweet last night.
Mama Lunau.
Yeah, his wife, Gina.
I mean this in the most respectful way. Hot, like defending her husband.
Okay.
Hot.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what she looks like. I'm just
right.
The act.
Just that. Yeah, that pride. Stand by your
Ride
man.
Or die.
Stand by your man. That's a good.
Somebody's gonna clip that. You
Yeah.
calling her hot?
Yeah,
it's okay.
That's okay.
Context is king. Interesting series though. I mean, look, I think the Giants are a very good team too. I don't know where I rank them in that whole like the rest of the NL Central and then you got the Giants in the Arizona. I don't really know where I rank them. I don't think like any of those teams are really separating themselves. The only game that the Giants lose is because my guy Matty Chapman makes a throwing error on a Bregman. It was a tough play. Had a bad grip on the ball, but he throws it away. They get that walk-off in the first game, 3 runs in the 10th. There's some stuff going on in that series as well. I think I'm going to talk about later.
Okay.
But you know, look, it's still the Astros taking 2 or 3 of them, and I don't know what the Astros are going to do. I think that's an interesting discussion as far as a Bregman goes. Like, I think they're getting to the point now where they are going to seriously consider, like, you can't blow this thing up unless you trade Kyle Tucker too, right? Like, trading Bregman is not blowing this thing up. You still have a bunch of pitchers under contract. You still have Jordan. You still have Kyle Tucker. You still have like there's a lot of guys that you have. I don't think trading Alex Bregman is blowing this up. And I think we're getting to the point now. I'm going to look at these freaking standings again because I didn't do the American League yet.
Right.
But there's 6 games out of the wild card and there's like 5-6 teams in front of them. Like, this is getting to the point now where it's like, okay, like this might actually be happening, people.
Teams we've been hypercritical of, the Jays, the Rays, have a nice gap between Houston. So, yeah, there's something about it that's never felt real. And I would just say on the Bregman-Tucker thing, Bregman, this is probably it, right? Like, this is final year of the contract. They haven't had it figured out. They've paid Altuve and Jordan. They've let Correa, Springer, a couple others go. never say never. You don't know how free agency goes. I guess I would have Tucker as a little different. Like Tucker's a few years younger, year and a half left. Yeah, okay.
I think they could trade Bregman this year and come back next year and just be fine.
Yes.
Like all the people they have still in that lineup, like there's plenty of star power still left there. So it's not like if they were to trade Bregman, it's not like, hey, the future is bleak. It's like that's not the case.
Yeah. Their pitching could be interesting.
And Bregman would be like, it would be awesome to see him on another team. And there's many teams that would want that guy's services.
Trev, I think there's one other series. Slight apologies to Cardinals. We're talking about you a little bit coming up, and the Skeens Michaelis game was fun, and you guys win 2 out of 3, and it's the Pirates.
The Pirates aren't that bad.
Both these teams are same. The whole NL Central is the same right now. That the Texas Rangers, they won 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers in LA. Like that deserves a little bit of love. Mentioned what Lorenzen has been doing this year, and Corey Seager coming home, and Wyatt Langford with a couple comical hits last night. The same.
Need them. Need all of them.
And there was a big Andy Pajes, your guy, stop sign thrown out at home. That I don't know, Art. Dodgers fans, you're probably not going to like this, but you guys are so good that we probably do dodge conversations around you sometimes. Like, you're not worried about this. I know you guys have had hot and cold streaks this year, but I think you still have the 5th best record in baseball. Rangers in the AL slog, like when you look at those AL wildcard teams, there was 2 teams that jumped out. It was the Rangers and I think maybe the Rays I was looking at. I guess the Texas Rangers right now are sitting with the exact same record as the Detroit Tigers, and I don't think we've been viewing those teams through the same scope.
I think I have.
Okay.
The Rangers haven't done anything all year. They've been pretty. I mean, they've been playing 500 or worse ball all year long. The Red Sox are above 500. I think we have been kind of seeing all those teams in the same light, and yes, they're only separated by a couple games. But I didn't even really believe in them last year. They won the whole damn thing. They got hot. They're waiting on some pitchers. They're waiting on this and that. Like, will they separate themselves at some point? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, man. I think we're banking on a lot of. Okay, yeah, they're gonna get DeGrom and Scherzer back at some point. Lorenzen's been amazing for them. David Robertson's always the best sign in any offseason. You're going to talk about him a little bit later. But, we counted on Evan Carter being a guy. We saw him for 6 weeks last year or less than that, like 3 weeks, whatever the heck it was. He was a stud. We thought that was going to come. Hasn't been the same way because the big leagues is hard. Wyatt Langford, man, spring training, we thought this guy was the best. I even said it. I think the first week of the season, I was like, this guy's for real. He's a ball player. Love watching him. And then the big leagues happen. It's tough. It's menacing, dude.
Yeah.
So we haven't had the rise of those guys. And again, I reference that all the time. Like, you need to have young guys overperform and have your stars do their thing. The stars have kind of been there. Marcus's offense hasn't been great, but he's providing plenty of value for them. And Seager, whenever he's been on the field, he's been himself. So I think, can they get there? Like, can they catch lightning in a bottle again? Like, yeah, they have the talent to do it. But it just really hasn't happened for them. Like, Adolis Garcia, 689 OPS, Wyatt Langford, 617, Jonah Heim, 621, Nate Lowe, 693. Like, we're not getting the performances we thought we were going to get.
Rangers play Seattle this weekend. That would be an interesting way to reintroduce themselves to the season if they could put up some big numbers, but they haven't done that.
I do want to speak a little bit on the Dodgers. They score how many runs in this series? They scored 18 runs in this series, 15 though in one game. Right. So you see the juxtaposition of their season. There's been games where they dominate offensively, and there's been games where they just get completely shut out. The back end of the lineup can be a black hole, or we've seen days where like they show up as well. I think it's been more of the former. Like I think they are looking to lengthen the lineup a little bit. Max Muncy would help that out a lot. They're okay. Like I think we say that and it's kind of a cop out, but at the same time, it's the truth. Like the Dodgers are going to be there. They're not treating the regular season like they need to go out and win every.
Who's going to catch them in the West?
They're going to be there.
No one.
Yeah. So but I do, in saying that, Jake, I do expect them to be dialed in at the trade deadline.
Oh yeah. Dodgers are all in. Shohei signed a fake contract. Don't say Willy. Don't say Willy.
No. Well, he would be great.
Who are you paging?
Alex Bregman.
Ooh.
Yeah, right. Little bit of history there. Yeah.
They've done that before. Machado.
I'm just saying.
You're just saying.
He fits.
One final note from me. Hey, do you have any history with Kirby Yates?
Like facing him?
Just anything, because I clicked his bio. I was going to do a Jakey throwaway line like Kirby Yates has been disgusting this year. His arm slot, his stats, like everything's just... Hey, clicked on his baseball reference. Know where he was born?
I don't.
You know, Kirby Yates, I think you start thinking the South, Tennessee, Mississippi, Hawaii. Kirby Cali Yates.
No, wait, what?
He's 37 years old. Like, Kirby Yates is flying up my, I think I got to grab a beer and talk some life with this guy.
Me, Kirby Yates, Shane Victorino.
Yeah, the big three.
We're in Wailea. We say, hey, let's go play golf.
Went to college in Arizona.
Discovery property.
Looks like you faced him once. It was 2016. Yates was a Yankee. He struck you out.
Oh, come on.
Bullshit. Bad call.
He was
bottom of the seventh.
Bad calls.
You swung on the last pitch. I can't speak to the previous.
I was protecting.
These umps. There's always an umpire story. Trev, let's go on to the American League for this Sunday night episode, and. You have something you need to tell the people about, Trev, because you're about to speak from the heart. AeroPress.
So AeroPress, we do a lot of these reads and we get the product, and a lot of times I like the product and we talk about it. I'm familiar with it. AeroPress, I'm like, I'm sold. Yeah. It's if you like coffee, which I think a lot of people do. Yeah. It's basically what they sent me was like their travel AeroPress. I don't know if that's the exact word for it. But it's basically a French press that you can bring on the go. It packs up like nicely in a little, like a muggish type thing with a lid. So it's like insulated. It's beautiful. I'm actually drinking it. I'm drinking my AeroPress out of my John Boy mug because I love my mug.
Right.
Even at the warehouse games, I steal them from the hotel. Don't tell anybody that, and bring them to the warehouse. I'm probably in trouble now. I'll pay you guys at the canopy there.
Crazy.
Bad. It's an excellent invention, I guess. Like, has no one done this before? Because it's so simple. It takes like 2 minutes. You put the coffee in, you pour some water over it, you press it down. It's very easy to clean, which I think was my biggest thing. If I gotta make this, and then it's just a pain in the butt to clean, I'm over it. And this wasn't. So me, I don't get this jazzed up about ad reads too often.
Yeah.
But I said, Pop, let me take this one. Let me sell AeroPress. If you're a coffee person, even if you could use this at home, the one that I have, and it's fine. You don't even have to take it on the road. You can take it on the road and it would be amazing for you. I just stayed 10 days in a hotel room drinking hotel coffee. Do you think those people care about the coffee? They don't. They got a lot of things in their minds. It's hard to run a hotel. The coffee's the last thing they think about. I've been drinking burnt coffee for the last 10 days. I wish I would have had my AeroPress. It got sent to me while I was away. I would have brought it on the road with me. And I will from now on whenever I go. It's that good. I'm being serious. If you are thinking about a gift for somebody or you just want to treat yourself, this is and they have at-home ones as well. It's awesome.
Coffee people speak the same language. It's like pitchers talking pitch scripts, like when you're in coffee game, and you're a coffee guy, Trev. So that's big. AeroPress.com/Talkin. Promo code Talkin. Save 20% off your order. So, you've got me hyped because, in a way, living in New York City is a version of traveling that, I don't know, seeing how hyped up you are, my weekend's about to AeroPress it up. So
Aeropress it up.
Oh.
Yeah. Bottom of the 7th inning, June 19th, 2016. Robbie Grossman struck out swinging. Joe Mauer ground out to first. Brian Dozier homer. And Trevor Plouffe foul ball, foul, strike swinging. Struck out.
Okay,
Kirby
so
Yates.
good calls. Yeah, Dozier hit 42 that year, so that's obvious. He was it probably. I guarantee that was on one of the first 2 pitches. Can you look that up?
I just wish he lived in a different era that we could call him Dozier Cat.
Dozier was the 7th pitch of the at bat.
Whoa, he doesn't work count.
Grinder.
Ball called strike swinging, ball, foul, homer.
Saw too many.
Good for BD.
Good for my Yanks. AL. The Yanks went into Kansas City and they brought their own barbecue sauce. They took the first game, went up 4-0 on Seth Lugo, who's been disgusting this year. And then they put up double digits in the next 2. Big Giancarlo with a couple homers. The Yankees catchers are contributing. Gleyber Torres is starting to kick into gear. Hey, Alec Marsh shoved. The Yanks came back. And then the Royals walked him off to salvage the set. So, heads held high in Kansas City, but boy, do those Yanks look good. The Mariners and the White Sox, some electric endings here. Mariners take 3 out of 4. That's kind of what you'd expect. How about Drew Thorpe making his debut, though? But we've got Cal Raleigh with the walk-off grand salami. He's got the most. Him and Soto tied for the most hits after the 7th inning to take the lead. Yeah, those are 2 guys I'm building my team around. Mitch Haniger, hello. Good to see you. White Sox on the last day. Garrett Crochet with 13 punch tickets. And that Andrew Vaughn and Luis Robert, who's like definitely getting traded. I kind of hadn't compute that yet. And I didn't even use a good sentence there. Orioles take 2 out of 3 from the Braves. They win the first 2, which put the Braves in a 5-game L column. Our guy Jorge Mateo turned on one from your guy Max Fried. I think it was the first game back from the 7-day IL as well. And then here's your Trev. You love the young guys. Spencer Schwellenbach versus Cade Povich. Your game 2 pitching matchup. That feels like a video game that you're like, I've been playing it for too long. No, who's not? Ronaldo Lopez, best ERA in the NL with 6 shut-piece to get them back in the win column. Who had that before the season? How's your mid? Cubs and Rays. Rays took 2 out of 3 from the Cubbies. Both of these teams kind of floundering lately, but Brandon Lau is back, and he gets a walk-off in the first game. Turns big for them. Cubbies get a one-run win in game 2 with Cobell and Seiya doing their thing. But these Rays, gone Rays. Our guy Caballero was all over this series. Taj Bradley, Josh Lowe with the big pinch hit. And Yandy, man, they need him to go. Both those teams, the numbers of late are tough. Not for the Phillies, who have been dominant all year. And the Boston Red Sox, kid. They take 2 out of 3 in Fenway Park. After dropping the first one to Zach Wheeler and 2 homers from Schwarbs, the bats come to life. I mentioned Jaron Duran. Want to talk about him with you because he is in Fuego. Maybe literally. Check out later in the program. And how about David Hamilton and Emmanuel Valdez filling in for some big games? Sox in a big stretch right now. Phillies and Yanks. Let's find out what you got, Boston. Your Minnesota Twins take 2 out of 3 from the Colorado Rockies. There's Chris Paddock. There's Royce Lewis. Rocks won that middle game. Cal Quantrill's been fantastic. Could be a trade deadline piece. You mentioned Zeke Tovar, Willy Adames. Okay, I'll look into it. And then this last game was a lot of fun. 17-9. Rockies fought back from down 10-2. And then the Twins put together a big inning to close it out. And the series everyone's been talking about. Nationals take 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. CJ Abrams, if the Nats are doing something, he's usually involved, and so is Jake Irvin lately, man. He's been quacktastic. Winker and Meneses. I watched all of these games. That's what happened in the American League.
Boy, Bob. How many games did you watch in that series?
All
of them.
I mean, Andy Ibanez, his exit velo.
They got some young pitching. The Nationals are gonna be there, people. Shout out Reed Schilling, my guy.
Wow.
Bob, it's Friday.
Yes.
So you know where we start. We start in the Central. Cleveland, they just keep winning games.
Yeah.
And we didn't really talk about the Ohio Bowl. Stephen Kwan will double down the line. Josh Naylor, he's a big boy. What do you think he's packing? They're 43 and 23, 20 games over 500. The Royals, they kind of continue to do it. I know the Yanks were in town, but you jinxed them on the last day. They're 40 and 30. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I was doing some math in my head. They're 10 games over 500, 5 games back. That computes. Okay, the Twinkies, they don't like being called that. No. 37 and 32. They got a new Homer celebration. It was interesting. Okay. Prince thing. 33 and 35 for the Detroit Tigers, and then the White Sox. They're everybody's medicine this year, and they're about to be everybody's like farm system coming up here. 18 and 52. Have you seen some of the things that like Ozzy and whoever the other guy is on the post game show? Like they're losing wild.
It, and it's June.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Sheesh, they're 27 games back. In the West, Seattle, they've been playing good ball, man. Pitching, hitting. Cal Raleigh with that big old butt of his, 40 and 31. And they're the only team in that division over 500. The Rangers, 33 and 35. Houston, 31 and 38. Angels, yeesh, 26 and 42. Oakland, yeesh, 26 and 45. And then in the East, the Yanks still doing their dang thing. I believe best record in baseball. Yes.
Yeah.
49 and 22. Baltimore only 2.5 games back, though. They love where they're at, Jake.
Ooh.
45 and 23. The Red Sox above 500. They've been around 500 all year long. I think they're okay with that. They're going to be in the playoffs if they do that. 35 and 34. The Blue Jays, 33 and 35. And Tampa, 33 and 36. So in the wild card standings, it's a little bit different than the NL. Minnesota has the last wild card spot right now. Boston 2 games back. A bunch of teams 3.5 games back. Houston, like I mentioned, 6 games back of a playoff spot right now with a bunch of teams in front of them. It is gonna get interesting, Pop, and that's what's happening in the standings and the American League.
Whew.
Almost had it. Just messed that last line up.
Got tight at the end. Trev, let me. I'm gonna jump to a funky one here because it's been on my mind. Phillies Red Sox. I mentioned the Red Sox. They take 2 out of 3. Good for Tanner Houck. Continues to be one of the best pitchers in the American League. Tyler O'Neill is back, and his stats are still fantastic when he's been on the field. Phillies, I think you're kind of whatever. A couple games at Fenway, that's fine. Red Sox, I did a little head tilt when I was like, Phillies and Yankees, man, those have been the 2 best teams this year. There's something about Alex Cora that I like him before this stretch, kind of being like, hey, let's find out, fellas. Like, we're seeing the 2 best. What do you boys got? My first question, Jarren Duran, and whatever you have on this series. Duran's one of the streakiest players in baseball. It feels like you look down and it's either 0 for 17 or it's like 12 for 20. Is that a sign of guess hitting? Like, baseball's always seen streaky hitters. I guess, is there a formula for that, or is it more random than I'm thinking? Because, I don't know, that was just Jakey late night on the couch. Like, I guess if you're a guess hitter and you have a good week of guessing, you can have a hot stretch. If you're a guess hitter and you have a bad week of guessing, you have a cold stretch.
I don't think there's a lot of guess hitters around the league. I think that's something that's kind of inflated. Now, you can guess in certain counts, but I don't think he's going up there every single pitch guessing. For most of the time when people are streaky like that, it's a timing thing.
Okay.
So, if your timing's hot, you're going to be hot. If your timing's not hot, you ain't going to be hot. Sure. That's just kind of how it is, as simple as you can put it. But he's had kind of like back-to-back good years. Like I know he didn't play in every game last year, but he put up good numbers. I believe it was like something like an 8-something OPS, 820 OPS last year, doing it again. Yeah, he's a guy that's going to be, obviously part of the future of the Red Sox, and he's a very, I would call him a dynamic player.
Yeah, he leads the league in triples. Like he's got 20 or 15 stolen bases this year. Yeah, he is dynamic.
In June, to your point, as far as being streaky, we got this guy at 46 at bats. He's got 17 hits, 2 homers. He's hitting 370, 444 OBP. He's 1 dot in it. Like, okay.
Yeah.
They have a bunch of guys. Like, for a while, all we were talking about was their pitching, right? Great starts by Houck and Crawford, and we're talking about all these dudes, and that was the MO. But if you look around the lineup, I mean, Devers is doing his thing. Connor Wong's doing his thing. Duran's doing his thing. Rob Refsnyder's doing his thing.
Yeah, sure is.
Like they're getting contributions. I think this is a better team than I've probably given them credit for. I think they've been hovering around 500, so it's hard to say like, hey, this team has been doing it and you guys have been missing it. Like you still have to go win baseball games, and what has it been? I guess I need Red Sox fans to chime in here a little bit because they have guys having good years in the bullpen as well. What has it been? Why 500? Why 1 game over 500? I think the offense has just started to get it going more as of late, but is that the simple solution or the answer, I guess?
I'm not sure. I'm excited to watch them this weekend. Yankees are at Fenway for the first time this year, so that's going to be fun to see kind of the ins and outs of that team. But yeah, like Red Sox got a bad case of if they were in the National League, would we be talking about them like we just talked about the Padres? Because that's where they're at. But the AL, there's a little more beef at the top right now that the Red Sox haven't been as sexy.
Isn't this always where they want to be?
Ooh,
the Red Sox,
interesting.
right? Like I feel like this is when they thrive. It's like they kind of just like aren't supposed to be there. They're supposed to be this team, and then all of a sudden they kind of get hot. Maybe that is an Alex Cora thing. I give him no credit because of his time with the Astros, and he was like one of the people that kind of started that entire thing. So I kind of brush him off to the side, but the fact that they were so quick to hire him back as a manager tells you something. And yeah, I guess like there are certain guys that can rally the troops. I think Torey Lovullo is one of them. I think Stephen Vogt's been one of them. Clearly, Alex Cora is one of them. I got to give him credit for that. He doesn't do it on the field, people. Like you still have to have a decent roster to win. But if you can get the guys kind of like motivated, the vibe is a thing. It is. So I guess he's the right man for the job, obviously.
Boston has a little. Go look at where they are team-wise. They're 8th in OPS. Okay, so top 10 offense. They're 4th in starting pitching ERA. Okay, top 5 starting pitching rotation. They're 7th in bullpen ERA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's the 500 about?
It's good. I mean, they had a ton of injuries too. So hey, it'd be good for ball if these Sox get back in the mix.
Did you see? Hold on. Okay, great. Red Sox doing your thing. Keep going. Phillies, you're fine. Everything's okay. Schwarber. It wasn't that he hit a homer first pitch, great, but then he hit a double and he gave a real big shimmy.
Yeah. I did.
Did you
see
get that Biebers somehow? Like as double, he gave a real big.
Last night he got Houck, bases clearing.
Earmuffs.
It was sexy.
He was shaking those titties around.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked like the Edmonton Oilers girl, for anyone on Twitter.
Oh, even I saw that.
Yeah, that one.
That's how you put fans in the seats right there.
A lot of group chats got sent that. Yeah, no, I was blown away. That Schwarber double, because, the Dodgers have their little arms up hip thing. It was kind of a version of that, but Schwarby was doing the shake.
I mean, cover your kids' eyes if you don't want to see it. Like your mom used to do at the movies.
Big moment of the game. 4-1. or 4-0, made it 4-3. Let's see if
We
they
need a
got
slow-mo.
the other angle.
Oh, they don't have the slow-mo on it. Okay, that's all right.
Yeah,
I'll work on the slow.
You can find it if
it's
you really
okay.
want to see it.
We'll save it for the end of the episode before we get clipped. And the American, if you want to talk about my Yanks, I don't. I was more so interested to see where the Royals were at, and they got punched in the mouth. There you go. Oh God,
That's not that play, but that's a different one.
He's about it. It's baseball is best played fun and sexy. Yanks kind of dropped it on the Royals for a bit. And yeah, I don't know. I guess my scouting report for the Royals, the top of that lineup is pretty real.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't think we got the best Lugo outing or even Singer, who's been good, and I don't know how much of that is them or facing the Yankees, who do have a really strong lineup. But yeah, I want to see. I'd love to see the Royals add a little bit of more depth to their lineup.
I want to look at their runners in scoring position because I referenced earlier about the Brewers, Royals doing it. And I'm looking right now, people. Relax. They're starting to tick down a little bit. They're down to 277. Or no, they're still hitting 301. Never mind.
Woo.
Never mind. They're the first. Strike that from the record.
Done. Gone.
You never heard that. That doesn't work in court. Once you hear it, you hear it.
Yeah.
Whatever. 301 batting average, which I think is the most, well, on base percentage means something too, but I think batting average in that specific split probably means the most. 301, the only team hitting over 300. So they're still doing it. It's a reason they're 40 and 30.
And that's part of their contact team. Like Rodon has 7 good innings, only 3 strikeouts. Nestor 7 innings, only 2 strikeouts. Stroman 5.21. So like they're up there to put it in play, which with runners in scoring position, that can't.
I have one last thing on that whole series. Anthony Volpe, dirty player. Trying to hurt Bobby Witt Jr.
Thank you.
Just had to get that out there.
Know what I'd love to know? We live in this era where like all athletes are nice guys. Like the 90s were literally the opposite. It was like don't meet your heroes because they're just gonna outdrink and outfuck you. Volpe and Witt, like pretty, out there on social media, come off as nice guys. They were, Trev, you can relate to this. They were old Team USA teammates as young boys.
Who was the shortstop?
Bobby was the shortstop. Anthony, he actually did play with a little bit more sauce in this series, and I think it's because of that.
Do you think he was like trying to get the sun reflecting off his gold glove into Bobby's eyes?
I think.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. It just sometimes happens when this gold glove gets the sun on it.
And I think Bobby played with a little more sauce too. So yeah,
that's good stuff right there.
We're in a day where athletes are better, and I think, Tom Brady just had his retirement thing, and I think there was a good Peyton Manning, like they trained together in the offseason and a group of high school kids saw them, and Peyton told the high school kids, like, don't you tell anyone we're friends. I'll kill you. So that's some good modern athlete stuff.
Yeah, me and Bobby Witt Jr., just a couple Team USA shortstops, whatever.
Yeah. Trev, that's cool. Well, grab the balls.
People forget.
Grab the balls. Look at you now. Honestly, Mariners White Sox has some electric moments at the end. This series kind of lands where you'd expect.
Cal Raleigh he's always the guy that's like, if you're watching a Mariners highlight, it's Cal Raleigh.
Right?
It's always him. Doubles, homers, walk-offs.
Trev,
I actually talked about this on the broadcast. About Cal Raleigh when I was doing the Twins games. Like, I think he needs to lean into the butt thing a little more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Play it up. It's your name. Everyone calls you Big Dumper.
Yeah, and it's a sport of sexiness.
Why hasn't he collabed like on a video with Megan Thee Stallion? There you go.
Okay.
Boom. You win.
Well, she's an H-Town girl, so that gets a little.
Oh.
Like, why isn't he repping?
Do you think Megan Thee Stallion wants to freaking hang out with the 4th place team in the division or the 1st place team?
Why isn't he doing a collab with Rihanna's Savage Fenty line? I gotta delete Instagram. Cal Raleigh. Trev, I haven't said this theory on here in a little bit more. Catchers matter more. Catchers matter more. However we're grading them with WAR or whatever, catchers matter more. The fact he's doing it late, the fact their pitching staff is really good, yeah, that goes a lot to the pitchers. But don't tell that to Wilson Contreras, whose team threw him under the bus last year. I don't know. I'm all in on Cal Raleigh, and he's actually, me remembering that has made me more in on these Mariners. White Sox, we're going to talk about you a little more in a minute, but it's kind of about the two guys everyone wants traded to their teams. Trev, if you've got anything, Braves, O's, Cubs, Rays. I'm kind of good, but the Braves is kind of a topic, but it's also not.
I know. I wish the Braves were kind of like better offensively right now, because this has the potential to be like, a World Series matchup and all those good things. We saw Stowers, big homer there. They actually got to Max Fried a little bit, which is the Orioles are legit. Like, they are a legit World Series contender, bar none. Albert Suarez. Where are you from?
Don't.
We're on to you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we're on to you.
Yeah.
You're not going to get away with this.
Yeah.
He does his thing. I don't know. Like, yeah, Ronaldo Lopez. Like, what's your deal too? We need to just do a deep dive on some of these pitchers that are all out of nowhere. Okay?
So I saw, shout out MLB Network. I saw a good stat that the Braves starters that are the guys we know and talk about, Ronaldo Lopez, Sale, Morton, and Fried, they've been electric. I think they've had 17 starts from other guys trying to fill in, and they've been awful. So that's one of the squeaky wheels with this Braves team and why they're down a little bit. And obviously, missing Ronnie.
Olsen got it going a little bit, and in the series, it kept that. But by and large, they just haven't hit well as a team together. And Anthopoulos had a whole little scrum. He came and talked to the media, and he was saying, look, that's basically what's going on. We have not hit. We expect them to do it. Am I taking calls for trades? Of course. Is anything imminent? No. But he's like, look, every team besides the Phillies, the Dodgers, and the Brewers are saying the same thing. Like, we're underperforming and it's going to get better. So he's like, we're happy that that's happened. They're going to be okay. And the Orioles, man, how did that happen so quickly?
Cade Povich, 6 clean, getting compared to Max Fried. Here's a top 100 guy, and it's, okay, will he be in our rotation for 5 years, or will he be traded for Crochet? Orioles are
It'll be interesting to see what the Orioles do. Both Foolish Bailey and I, who are like, I always try to joke with him. I'm so bad on Twitter. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so much more funny in person.
Nice.
It's just the bottom line. I'm like a
Sick.
loser on Twitter. We both think Luis Robert would fit perfectly on the Orioles. We know there's Cedric Mullins, and we know they have a plethora of like just players, but like, you add him to the mix, he's got a couple more years of control, kind of fits in with what they're doing right now. Like, they got plenty of, like, you have all these outfielders with probably at least 5 years of control. Most of them with 6 years of control left that you could ship off to the White Sox. And Luis Roberts an upgrade over them.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe one of these guys turns into something crazy, but like, Luis Robert is one of the best athletes in all of baseball when he's right. I think I would love to see them make that move. Now, they're going to have some competitors for him. I think the Phillies are going to go try and get him big time. But imagine a package. Imagine a Crochet Lubob package to the Orioles. What will we be saying about that team if they did that?
I think you mentioned package when you were talking about Josh Naylor quickly. Know what else might be great for Luis Robert? Getting out of Chicago.
Yes.
My God. Him on the Orioles or the Phillies? You cat to be kidding me. And I did love what you said earlier in the program, Trev. I think the Orioles kind of love where they are right now. They've been playing very well. Everyone's talking about, the Yanks are good this year. They've got a series coming up next week. Excited for that.
Have they met yet?
They played once in
Played
Baltimore.
a 4-gamer in Baltimore.
Baltimore took 3 out of 4. Yeah, Yanks are really kicking off their AL East part of
Where's
their
Jackson
season.
Holiday?
Doesn't matter.
Can we look that up, Beavis? Give me the AAA
Doesn't matter.
stats. He's got to be raking.
They're
I'm
disgusting.
assuming.
I think that whole Norfolk team is still like the best team in baseball.
Norfolk's sneaky fun city to go to. They have this like mall that's pretty good. You know, you see all like the ships in the harbor.
Okay.
Whatever.
Any
we
water
can't go down that. We can't
any
go down that
water
road right
city in America should be a sick city. Put a brewery on the water. Poppy's there.
All right, let's deep dive into my Twins Rockies series.
And it's brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Bases full. Down 3. This is actually what the Schwarb's clip was, minus bottom of the 9th.
I like this.
That is real drama and action. And DraftKings Sportsbook, they've got the action too. From first pitch to the final out, same game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use code Talkin. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's code Talkin only at the DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours.
Let me do a little Twins. Go ahead.
No.
Since going back down, Jackson Holiday is batting .252 with a .418 on base, .429 slug, .847 OPS overall. That's 40
He's shell-shocked.
games.
The big league shell-shocked him.
Yeah. I would move on.
All right,
merely
last 2
merely
series
fine.
quickly.
What do you
Good.
I'm going to speak about the Rockies, not the Twins. First of all, yes, Royce Lewis is an lookout, man. You know I don't give young guys credit.
I know.
You know that.
He swings a
Different
fake heavy bat, Trev. I've admitted it.
It's a 30.5. It's not even heavy.
I know, but it looks heavy in a great
He's
way.
strong, bro.
Same.
Nicest guy in the world.
Okay, I thought this was Rockies talk.
Yeah, so interesting to watch them. They have no pitching. Oh my gosh. Cal Quantrill's their best pitcher. And they should sign him because like he's actually had like decent splits, like road and home. Like sign him. You can't get any pitchers to come there in free agency. Sign this dude.
He'll be traded. Traded in a few weeks.
For what? Then get the
For
franchise out
nothing.
of Denver or trade or sell your franchise, whatever it is. Like if you have someone that can get it done at Coors Field, a pitcher, sign him.
They'll trade him.
Cal Quantrill
Eat the
would
rest.
sign immediately if you offered him a long-term contract.
I don't know.
Immediately he would sign.
That gets a little tricky because then your
No, it
career is
doesn't.
kind of screwed. Go on.
Who cares? You play to get paid, Bob. Don't let anybody tell you any differently. Yeah, the World Series, that's all I care about. Okay. If I was to tell you you're going to make $100 million,
Played.
never play in a World Series, or you're going to make $1 million and play in the World Series, I think you would take the $100 million.
Dude, if the Rockies Cal Quantrill 100 M's contract drops
No, they're
tomorrow,
not doing that.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that.
okay.
But if they offered the guy 12 a year, 15 a year,
If I'm Cal Quantrill, I'm interested.
yeah, you are.
Oh, listen to it.
Zeke Tovar is the guy. So he's like some of the peripheral stuff isn't great. Like he's not hitting the ball too hard, but he made a swing adjustment.
Oh,
So he doesn't have a leg lift anymore. Toe stays on the floor, still able to generate power. He's got a bunch of extra base hits. I like him as a player.
well, dude, isn't he
Great
also
defense.
22 years old and listed
Yes.
$162? So like a little mass.
He's beefed up a little bit. He's bigger than that. He's bigger than that.
Okay.
One of those reverse baseball reference things. I think he's a player to watch. I think he's a very good player. Brenton Doyle can definitely go get it.
Yeah.
And then I saw you and brother Jeff talk about Ryan McMahon.
Yeah.
That guy's a baller.
Yes, bro.
A baller. Like the way he plays third base, he looks like Arenado. And Morneau, who played with him, said he learned it. I don't know if he played with him.
Yeah, I think
talked to
they
him.
overlapped.
might
They
have
overlapped a couple years. Yeah, dude,
Um,
he took over from Arenado.
But
And-
like,
yeah.
he was like going through a really like 0 for 16 or some shit. But he was still out there like picking and like making it look easy at third base. And then he got like a blue pit or something. And then
Yeah.
he needs to get out of there.
Trev, it's OPS plus for the Colorado Rockies is messed up because Ryan McMahon, his OPS since 2021, 98, 98, 94. He's got a 122 this year because he's been balling. This is where Coors Field hurts a player.
Yeah.
Like, if this cat played at Yankee Stadium, I think he's a 25 to 30 homer Gold Glove potential third baseman. That's a $22 million a year type player, but because he plays at Coors, people wonder if his $12 million a year is getting overpaid. So don't get me started on the Rocks, Trev. Come on.
He's a baller. He needs to get the heck out of there.
Nats, I've decided I'm all in on you, and I want you guys to go double birds to every NL team and take the last wild card spot like the Marlins did last year. I want them to be last year's Marlins.
You just like it because Jake Irvin's on the team. You love every Jake.
I love a Jake. We love Jesse Winger, who invited us into his club. And C.J. Abrams has an argument for coolest guy in baseball.
The Alien. Great nickname.
That's pretty cool.
He got an alien chain.
Alien and
Jesse
Martian?
Winker tried to rob a homer. I don't know what game it was, but it was the worst rob job.
Let's say
he just ran his shoulder into the wall and couldn't even jump.
Let's say Rob.
Love you, Jess. But remember, you didn't invite me into your bird gang?
Yeah. That's tough. Well, no, dude, you're not a ball player anymore.
I still don't have an opinion on the Tigers. I need to get an opinion on the Tigers. So I apologize to Detroit fans. I don't know what to think about your team.
Justin Henry Malloy, 2 for 3. Tell me more, Tigers fans. You all know your team more than us, but you might not know these standout performers as well as we do. Trev, where are you going? Oh, no way.
Yeah, I went there,
Really?
because the Battle of Ohio is huge.
Really?
And you can't let the guard dogs come into your freaking stadium and take 2 games from you. You can't. You let them have the first one. And Candelario's like, nah, man. I'm going to drive in all 4 runs. I'm going to hit 2 bombs against you. We went 3 for 4 on Wednesday, 2 homers, 4 runs driven in to get the Reds the win. It means too much. The Battle of Ohio means too much for Jeimer to say, you guys can have 2. No, he's not going to let you have 2. Doesn't care what your record is. 20 games over 500. Who gives a shit? I'm hitting 2 homers. I'm taking this thing back. I'm going to go to Skyline Chili, and me and Trev are going to sit and just talk about life.
Jeimer doesn't want to talk to you.
Yes, he does. A couple third basemen. Both hit homers in Cincinnati.
No.
Okay, probably not.
Jeimer, I signed that contract. I said it was my favorite contract of the offseason where the value went. First and third, switch hitting. It was fun having a little Reds talk with Brother Jeff because totally forgot about Noelvi Marte. Never mind, Matt McClain and Friedel have been out. I still have a little bit of Red stock. Jeimer, first 42 games, 216, 284. Yeah. Jeimer Candelario, since then, when's the start date for this? May 22nd. Jeimer Candelario, 18 games, 301, 354, 1 dotting. So for 3 weeks, he's been a 1 dotter. That
still looks weird to see him in a Reds uniform. I'm saying that.
And another follow-up, you mentioned Stephen Kwan before. He had such a cool at-bat against Nick Martinez, where it was Nick Martinez.
Was that the double down the line?
Yes, he just kept throwing crap up there, and Kwan goes, nope, foul ball. Nope, foul ball.
Love that.
Nope, foul ball.
You talk about putting lead in my pencil?
Yeah.
That's lead in my pencil.
Brian Dozier, 7.
By the way, Stephen Kwan, 2.5 WAR. Missed some time. Remember that. 2.5 WAR. He's hitting 380.
Yeah.
445 OBP. From Los Gatos, man.
It's a guy. Really? Okay.
He's from the Cats, California.
Happy for you. I'm also happy for Garrett Crochet. 7 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts. He's my standout for all the wrong reasons for White Sox fans. His name has been hot in the streets for trade rumors because it's one of those. So, the fact that we're all scared of pitching injuries. So if you got a guy who's twirling it well, we're kind of just in screw it mode. Like Luis Gil, you're pitching this year, dude. Yanks need you. Crochet didn't have his first start till, what was it, opening day this year? And he's been amazing. He leads the AL in strikeouts, Trev. 116 in 82.2 innings. He's had 15 starts. He's supposedly on the table because he hits free agency after 2026, which it's doubtful the White Sox have their ish together by then. Him and Lou Bob are the two most popular names in the street this trade deadline. This guy was a stud at Tennessee. I remember he was one of the first Pitch Ninja college players that were posting, and it's like, wait, kids in college now throw 101? Oh, God. If you're the White Sox, and I hope there's another team that's willing to pay the price for it, because let's get this guy on one of the good teams. 0.895 whip this year. 24 years old. Turns 25 in a week. And you can trade for this guy for three kids that haven't been up to the big league level yet. You know? Like I'm sure they've got all the talent and you have to pay for a guy like this. But pay.
I got so much to say right now because Ocean Springs, Mississippi. My bad hand up. Didn't know that Mississippi was on, like, had an ocean. It's a Gulf.
Yeah,
it's a Gulf.
Yeah, we're there.
Barely hits there. I just always assume Mississippi River, but that's hand up. My bad.
Yeah.
Here, this is where I went because you just started talking about prospects, and I just started thinking, if I was a GM, what would I be doing? And I mean, like, someone that's not like I want to be the guy in charge. So whatever that is, president of baseball ops, whatever the heck, everyone has a different guy that's in charge. I'm going to start handing out backdoor money to these ranking systems, bro.
Okay.
Who ranks prospects? Keith Law, you're on my payroll. Baseball America, you're on my payroll. All of a sudden, I think the Yankees. I got to stop myself.
Easy. I
would be doing that. And I don't know how I would do it. But all of a sudden, my prospects are hot, top 100 prospects. MLB Network, you're on the payroll. Then all of a sudden, I just trade these guys away. They stink, but they're ranked high. I get a Garrett Crochet. He's going to go somewhere. I don't think the White Sox keep him. I think it'd be silly if they kept him. I think right now they could get a ransom for this guy. Is he a great pitcher? Would he help them get to where they want to get? Sure, but he's not going to be there at that time. They're not going to be there in 3 years. They're not. So I think he's hot right now. He's not hurt. He's pitching. He's showing himself as a starter, and he's dominant at times. Get rid of him. Get max value right now, and he should be pitching on a team. And I do hope they package him with Luis Robert. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I don't know if that package. I mean, that's got to be like that's Orioles. That might be the only
Orioles could do it.
That might be the only team with the ammo, but then that's the Orioles emptying their farm, which I don't think that's their MO. And you could probably.
What are they going to do with the farm, Coach? What are they going to do with the farm? Just keep them there for what?
Well, dude, they've got a pretty good track record of the guys getting called up.
I understand that, but you have to. The guys that are there, they're going to be there for the next 5 years anyway. You can lock those guys up. You don't need the farm. If you have guys that have proved it at the big league level, and you think you could lock them up, and you're in this window, you don't need the farm anymore. The only thing you need the farm for is some injuries.
Yeah, you always need the farm because it moves quick. Like these. Trev, I don't want to debag you because we've been peaceful today. Your tooth's back. Who is your 2021 World Series champion prediction? That was Braves?
Braves, yeah. What about
that?
Him?
You nailed perfectly, and you were king of the world. 2022 was pretty close. Who was your World Series winner in 2022?
No, it was not. It was Brewers White Sox. Neither of them made the playoffs.
It's moved really quickly for the White Sox if you're the Orioles, I think they're going to hold on to all of that prospect capital.
What does that even mean?
I think they're going to hold on to all this prospect capital because a couple things can happen.
They would be absolutely silly, and I think their fan base, we pissed.
Get more Cole Irvins and Albert Suarez's.
You got guys just sitting there in AAA. What? They're blocked, bro.
Who
are you gonna remove from that roster?
Let's take a trip to Norfolk.
Let's go.
I'd go.
Us and a couple of guys from the Navy go out. What?
Oh, couple
A little bit of
seamen.
stolen valor from us.
Trev, great standouts. There's a lot of guys.
Yeah, I can't believe you didn't take a Diamondback, man.
Yeah, I
Peterson
know.
and Walker.
But I'm gonna, there's an Angels asterisk at this point.
Okay.
But here, I'm starting to see the names on this list. Best part of the show.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
I haven't had the Devil's lettuce in like almost 2 weeks. What's wrong with me?
Okay.
I'm on my AeroPress.
Yeah.
All right, guys. For the series, we talked about this dude showing him off. Phillies DH Kyle Schwarber, 6 for 11, a double, 2 homers, 5 runs driven in. He's the most efficient home run hitter in the month of June in baseball history. He averages 1 homer every 10.4 at bats in his career in June, moving ahead of who? Babe Ruth, who had 10.6 for the best mark of all time for the month. He loves hitting in June, and he uses my walk-up song.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's cool. Yeah. It's the thuggish. Can't sing.
Can't sing.
Tyler Soderstrom, we're going to talk about him a little bit later in the show too, believe it or not. In this series against San Diego, 4 for 10, 2 home runs, 4 runs driven in, 3 runs scored, 2 walks. He hit homers in consecutive games for the first time in his career on June 10th and June 11th. Christian Walker, there you are, pop, 4 for 14, but 4 of those hits, or excuse me, 3 of those hits were homers. 5 runs driven in against the Los Angeles Angels, and then for the week, Andrew Vaughn, you're gone. What team are you going to play on? I always liked Andrew Vaughn. Looks like he just like puts his head down and goes to work.
I still do,
guy,
bro.
Right?
Get him in a change of scenery, and I that might be a chip you could cash in on.
Yeah, where does he need to go? Like, where does he fit in? We'll think about that.
Yeah.
10 for 29 in the week, a double, 3 home runs, 5 runs driven in. He recorded the career-long 11-game hitting streak before it snapped on Wednesday. David Hamilton, shortstop for the Boston Red Sox, 9 for 25 in the week, 2 doubles, 2 homers, 4 runs driven in. Also 5 swipes. Gotta love that. He's got a 346 average and a 972 OPS in his last 25 games, and it allowed Rafael to get back out there to the outfield, which I like. Milwaukee starting pitcher, of course, a guy that I barely know. I barely know this guy. Tobias Myers. Love your name, though. 2-0, 14 innings pitched. What? 4 hits, 1 earned run, 9 Ks for the .57 whip, of course.
Yeah, Myers is he's a fastball off-speed pitcher, you know?
Yeah. That was some excellent analysis right there from you, Jake. And for the 2 weeks, this is the list you want to be on. Ketel Marte, I feel like he's been on this list the entire season.
Love him.
15 for 39. That's a 385 average. 2 doubles, 4 home runs, 8 runs driven in, 11 runs scored, 9 walks, 2 stolen bases for the 1.2. And then your guy, Jake. My boy, Jake.
Nice. It's a good one.
Got it?
Yeah.
My boy, Jake.
3-game start. Jake Irvin, by the way, Washington starting pitcher. 3-0, 18 innings pitched, 15 hits, 15 Ks, only 3 earned runs. That's a 1.5 ERA and a 1.06 whip. He has the 6th lowest ERA in the NL this season. Go, Nats, go. Schilling Canning Co., go have dinner after you watch the Nats game. That's our guy. And then Yennier Cano. I thought he was, people were not happy with him early on in the season, I believe. All of a sudden, Baltimore bullpen getting locked down. They could use some help, though. I think they'll add there. 7 games in the 2 weeks, 5 holds, 6 1/3 innings pitched, only 1 hit, no earned runs, 9 Ks for the .79 whip. And my guy, that is who was in Fuego.
Artwork meets baseball every time you do that. Funny seeing Cano there earlier in the show. I was going to say go look at Craig Kimbrell's numbers. Struggling Craig Kimbrell in the back of that bullpen. His numbers are fantastic. I don't think there's ever been a player that's felt more differently than his stats in the eye test than Craig Kimbrell. Hall of Fame stats. And he's got like a 2.85 this year or something.
No, he's like first ballot. Is he first ballot? Hall of
No,
Famer?
they don't do that with closers. But
That's true.
just Mo. The IL, it's the worst segment of the show. And Javi
out.
Baez with a spine thing. Don't like that for him. Big Bad Ben Brown for the Cubbies hits the IL. Danny Colom. Trev's Danny Colom. And Trev's JT Realmuto. Hate that. For the Phils. Hunter Renfroe and Joey Showers Gallo on the IL for the Nats. Back from the IL. Francisco Alvarez, young stud behind the dish for the Metropolitans. Mentioned Jorge Mateo and Geraldo Perdomo up the middle. Yes, please. Yoshida and Benny, a couple Boston boys. Not anymore for Benny, obviously. Your guy Shags is back. Lucas Urseg. People think he's going to be a nice deadline piece. And Edwin Diaz. The trumpets, there they go. Bump, bump, bum, bump. Any Jason Derulo fans out there? Me either. What do you got, Trev?
So I am adding someone because this has been a big request. I'm adding someone to Fuego.
Oh.
So for the last 2 weeks,
Yeah.
we have St. Louis shortstop Mason Wynn. 50 at-bats, 16 hits, only 7 runs driven in, but he's got a 320 batting average, a 352 on base, 440 slug, 792 OPS. So people have been asking for that for a long time. As a shortstop, playing banger of a job. He's actually had an incredible year. Everyone always talked about defense, arm, all that stuff, but he's put together a nice offensive season, and people are always in my mentions. What about Mason Wynn? Well, there, I just gave it to you, and it wasn't even that good.
All right, Cardinals. I'll say this. I've watched Mason Wynn. Again, like, I'll be real with the people. I've probably watched 2 full Cardinals games this year, which puts me high if I'm not a Cardinals fan. Dude, watch Mason Wynn play. He's got a dog to him. Like, it's not a peacocking shortstop. Like, I got this arm, I'm gonna ball it. Like, he kind of plays like dirty. Like, he's in it. I don't know. I'm a Mason Wynn guy.
Can you say in it like the English accent? Like,
in
isn't it?
In it? Mason Wynn, in it? Yeah. I saw them. We got to go to London, Trev. I think we'd like it there. Trev, let's end the show and start everyone's weekend.
Awards!
And awards are brought to you by BetterHelp. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. What's something you need to get off your chest? We all carry around different stressors, big and small, you know? Keep them bottled up. It can start affecting you negatively. Therapy is a safe space to get things off your chest. Figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/TalkinBaseball today. Get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. HELP.com/TalkinBaseball. There's a link in the description. I was talking to one of my friends about getting therapists, and they I had a head tilt moment. I was like, there's a lot going on in here. I don't know what I can really tell a stranger about. And they were like, think of it like this: therapists are doctors, like, for your thoughts. So, like, if you got an injured elbow, you go and talk to that doctor, and you're like, hey, my elbow's hurt. What do I need to do? If you got some stuff going on up here, that's what the therapist is. So, I don't know.
Pop, I love it, but I just feel like you've never thought about it like that.
No, I don't know. It's like opening up to a stranger. You know some of these thoughts. Like,
it's not like just like a random person on the street. These are doctors.
They're going to call the federales on me for some of these thoughts.
Are you in Mexico?
Licensed professionals.
Where's your award going, Trev?
First, I want to say shout out to Kelsey Winger. I'm actually mad at her right now because I had to talk to Ryan Spilborghs instead of her.
Spilborghs.
And he was like telling me my relationship was like going to take a direction. I was like, I've been married for 11 years, bro. What are you talking about?
Do not give Trev relationship advice.
Yeah, no. I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I have a great relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know why I brought that up. But shout out Kels. We're going to see her next week.
Next week.
Okay. BBD and I are in cahoots with this award. Just I don't want to blindside you. Okay. And Beebs, I think we're only gonna do let's do 2 of the videos. My award is called The Bunt is Back. There's no funny business about this award, people. I am sick of people saying never bunt. If you say never bunt, I think you're stupid.
Yes.
Like that's the case. DJ LeMahieu, pretty good hitter, right?
Couple
Here's a
batting
bunt.
titles.
First and third. Now that's an easy one. Hold the videos off for now, Beebs. First and third's an easy one. Joe Madden play. That still gets implemented around the league, right? What I have seen as of late is we've gotten so never bunt because the stat dudes say it's not a good play. Teams don't know how to defend the bunt. Players don't know how to defend the bunt. It's just like the sinker. We don't want to throw the sinker. Let's throw it above. Now everyone's throwing the sinker. It's gotten back to that point now where I think the bunt is one of the best plays in baseball. And I'm not talking about sacrifice bunting to get 1 run when you're already up 2. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking being advantageous with a baseball play, seeing times in a game and taking advantage of it. Third baseman's back, lefty pitcher on the hill. This guy's been struggling at the plate. Hey, dude, do you know what it does for your psyche to get a fucking hit every once in a while? It's big. How about a base hit bunt? The guy's giving it to you. All you have to do, it doesn't have to be good. It just has to be hard enough down the third baseline. That's it. It's pretty freaking easy, dude. It's pretty freaking easy. There are so many times in a game where these guys could and should be doing it that they're not. And I want people to understand the bunt is okay. Hashtag bunt sometimes. That's all I'm saying. If you say never bunt, I hate you. I do.
Right.
Because you're not, you don't get it. Dude, I don't want to get into this too much. I have, being around at these games, talking strategy with different organizations, different, broadcasters that are like talking about, what their coaching staff talks about and the way their organization thinks and stuff. I heard, I'm not going to say which organization it is. Okay. I heard from somebody, one of my close baseball friends, that his organization doesn't believe that setting up pitchers works or setting up hitters works. And so you don't have to set up anybody. You just throw the pitch that they can't hit. You just spam that button. Can't hit a slider away. Just throw sliders away. Oh, really? Have you ever fucking watched a baseball game? If you throw a big league hitter 6 sliders in a row, 3 sliders in a row, they're going to get to it. These are big leaguers. They're different, right? Ask any hitter that's ever played the game in the history of baseball, does setting a hitter up have an effect on their bat, a negative effect on their bat? Every single one will say yes. But the numbers, they'll say the numbers don't support it. Where are the numbers from? All your data is from people setting up hitters. That's where your numbers come from. They've been doing this forever because it works. So I can't with people, and I'm not old man yelling at clouds. Yes. I'm a baseball player telling you there are certain things in this game that are tried and true. Hashtag sometimes, but okay, let's get back to the videos. So DJ does that. Great play. Love it. Yankees are bunting, people. Best team in baseball are going to take advantage when they need to. DJ LeMahieu, heady baseball players doing it. Beebs, let's go to Luke Raley. Before the walk-off homer, Luke Raley ties the game. This is 8th inning. First and third. 2 outs, though. Oh, there's a bunt. My defense is shifted over to the pool side. So the whole third baseline is there. He's fired up. That's a baseball play. That ties the game up right there. And then what happens? Your dude comes and walks it off for you. If it's there, you can take it. And this is my favorite one. This is what I'm saying. We don't know how to defend the bunt anymore. On Wednesday, Seth Brown against the Padres. A team I'm all about. First and second, no outs. He's just kind of like, it's a base hit bunt because he squares late, but lefty on the mound again. Soderstrom scores from second base because we don't know what we're doing here. Look at this. This is big league baseball.
Yeah.
This is the big leagues, bro. The third baseman's like, oh, nobody bunts anymore. So what do I do? You never do that as a third baseman. If you're in doubt, you go get the ball. That's it. We don't know how to defend the bunt anymore. And we have all these people say never bunt. Base hit bunts are good for you. How many times do I have to say, you're looking up at the Jumbotron, you're 0 for your last 15. All you need is a knock. I saw Byron Buxton do that. He got a blue pit. All of a sudden, he's banging the ball around the park. It means something to you. Confidence-wise, there are so many times where I see the third baseman completely back, just giving you a base hit. Hey, is a double better than a single? Yes. But there are times where you have zero chance to hit a double. You have zero chance to fucking make solid contact. Put the bunt down. Does a couple things. You track the ball all the way to your bat. A lot of times, that's the problem. You're not seeing the ball all the way in. You're going out and trying to get it. Okay? Even if you don't get the bunt down, now where does the third baseman play? If you're a right-hand hitter. He plays in. Oh, shoot, that opens a chance up for what? An extra base hit. That's what we're trying to do nowadays, isn't it? The bunt is back. We need more base hit bunts. Advantageous of situations that are put in front of you. That's the game of baseball. I'm over it. Never bunt is out. Sometimes bunt is in.
Trevor, let me clean that up and I'll go quick. Beautiful. We're playing a game. In any game, take advantage of what you can take advantage of, especially if it's a game you're trying to win. And there are times when a bunt is a good thing, like all those examples you mentioned. The Yankees walk off, they lost. DJ was playing in on Michael Garcia because he's a threat to bunt. Ball goes down the line, Yankees lose. So yeah, the ripple effects, and the Luke Raley one is the most impressive because that was 99 under his chin that he gets past the pitcher. And I love watching Luke Raley run. He runs like he's on kickoff coverage. Getting down to first, big boy barreling down. The other example I have for the people, and it's just gone too far because we say, well, not everyone learns how to bunt because you don't need to know how to bunt. Know who I've seen lay down beautiful bunts this year?
Juan Soto.
And he does it.
He did it against the Twins,
dude. It's taking advantage of it. It's exactly what you just said. Knowing Soto will do it, if Volpe's on and the Yankees are down 2 or down 3, he'll bunt because it's wide open because he's Juan Soto. So now you have Aaron Judge up with a chance to tie or take the lead because you take advantage. Take advantage.
I forgot to mention the last one.
Sure.
Manny Margot, who got in trouble for bunting early in the year. There it is. Look at this freaking guy. Lefty on the hill.
Yeah.
Got to turn around to throw to first base. Manny Margot, the Twins put up 17 runs. He's a leadoff hitter. First play of the game, he bunts for a base hit. Now the starting pitcher's like, what the hell just happened? He's got to run around first base. Now I got to pay attention. It opened the floodgates.
Now I'm out of the stretch.
Hashtag sometimes bunt.
Trev, incredible. I mean, you were cooking, and I loved it. That I'm just going to go quick, and maybe some Ranger fans will be mad. It's the Houdini Award, and it goes to Houdini. David Robertson, celebrity on this show, because I got to see his body in a locker room, and wow. You called it the best free agent signing, and wow. No pitcher had struck out Betts, Ohtani, and Freeman in the same inning. Only because they're 3 Hall of Fame hitters that near impossible to do that to. Here comes D-Rob, the old man, just throwing funk up there. That cutter, that hammer, and he strikes him out. All right, D-Rob. Nice.
Got a good curveball, too.
You did it. Someone was going to get him. What does he do? The next night, he does the same thing. That's a sick puppy, man. That's a sick puppy who's still out there doing it years removed from, being a setup man, being a closer, and then Team USA, and does he still have it? And not only does he still have it, he's got it against the best. That I don't know, if I needed a couple outs come October, sign me up for that guy. Your guy.
What, he's gonna be traded?
No,
I love D-Rob. You know he's my guy. I always say that. He's just a different pitcher. He's one of those guys. Chris Sale is another example where it just looks different. Like, you don't have a pitcher you can really compare to Chris Sale. You don't really have a pitcher you can compare to D-Rob. Like, his ball's different, dude.
Yeah.
Like, the way he moves the ball. I'm not saying Mariano Rivera, but like, like of that ilk. Like, where like, okay, nobody throws like Mo. Nobody really throws like D-Rob. He's got that ride forcing fastball. He's got the cutter, the curveball. Like, he's from Alabama.
Yeah. It's been a huge Alabama. Paul W. Bryant
Also has a coast on the Gulf.
Yeah.
I don't know if a lot of people know that.
University of Alabama. 20 career WAR as a leader. I think as a reliever, excuse me. I'm going to have to tweet out 20 WAR relievers because there's not a lot of those cats out there. That's an incredible career. 835 big league innings, 1,101 strikeouts. And he just got 6 against the best to ever do it at age 39.
6-pack.
Yeah, I feel like me and D-Rob would go to a yoga class or something where me and Kirby Yates, couple big waves and a couple. Let's
Stand burritos for you guys. Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Go watch Trevor Plouffe on Baseball Today. That'll be real nice. Thank you to everyone. Subscribe. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the baseball. We'll see you Monday. And
People are calling me Trevor Tooth now. Totally missed that joke.
No.
The whole episode, I was waiting for it, and you didn't do it.
No. No thanks. Two's coming out next week.
That was a joke.
The others might.
Nice.